said she was put in the back of a black Lincoln Town car, James' official car. She remembers hearing Letitia James ask, "Is she out?"
Stunning allegations against Attorney General Tish James of New York that when a top aide was accused of sexual harassment, she kept quiet.
What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro, back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. You guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely going to want to check this one out. So we're seeing even more charges rolling down the pipeline for that corrupt New York Attorney General Letitia James. In addition to her mortgage and insurance fraud charges that she's currently faced, we're now adding assault charges to that list, guys. And I'm excited to get into this one, so we're not straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out. All right, you guys, so just yesterday, we got Roger Stone Jr. on X tweeting out saying this woman has accused the New York Attorney General Letitia James of kidnapping and complicity in her assault. Aren't we supposed to believe all women? And who is this woman right here? So after tons of digging, we found an article that covers who this actually is. This article was actually once on the New York Post website, but then deleted, which made me even more suspicious to the claims, what's going on there. I found this via the Wayback Machine, which serves like an archive that keeps records of articles and journal clippings that have been deleted by the actual news organization. This one was dating back to September 8th, 2017. So kind of drew a couple red flags there as to why they would delete this. Now, before we even get into it, I have to give you guys a little bit of background. This man that you see right here pictured on your screen, Ibrahim Khan, was like the right-hand man working very closely with Letitia James during her campaign to get in that seat as Attorney General. There were many claims that were coming about, actually claims from this lady on Ibrahim Khan of assault. And it was during a campaign season reported before that Letitia James got elected in as that Attorney General of the state of New York. But she ignored them. She didn't address these claims to let them go underneath the radar until after she was elected into that seat.
Now to a developing story tonight. Stunning allegations against Attorney General Tish James of New York that when a top aide was accused of sexual harassment, she kept quiet.
Some say that she's handling it far differently than her aggressive investigation of former Governor Andrew Cuomo. CBS 2 political reporter Marcia Kramer here in studio with more on this story. Marcia?
Well, Christina Maurice, the charges are coming from one of the women whose allegations of sexual harassment led to the resignation of the Attorney General's closest aide, her longtime chief of staff. She raises many questions about how the case was handled, and others have wondered why the Attorney General waited until after she won re-election to make the case public. Sophia Quintanar worked for Attorney General Tish James as a deputy press secretary until last year. She is speaking out tonight as both the victim of sexual harassment from James' chief of staff, Ibrahim Khan, and as a former employee who doesn't understand how her case was handled differently from the sexual harassment case brought by the office against former Governor Andrew Cuomo that forced him to resign. She charges that James took more care to protect Ibrahim Khan than the women who accused him of abuse. I find it just appalling to see how the office handled this publicly, Ms. Quintanar, 33, said in an interview with the New York Times. Me and the other victims, we deserve the same vindication that was given to those other victims that she stood up for. It shouldn't be any different because it happened in her house. Sophia Quintanar said she was referring to how Tish James protected the 11 women she claimed were victimized by Andrew Cuomo. She said Khan touched her inappropriately after a Brooklyn fundraiser and kissed her against her will. One of the problems for the Attorney General is that she didn't disclose the investigation of Khan until last week, even though the probe of the charges was going on while she sought re-election. And it wasn't until today that she offered a public defense of her actions, saying, quote, "My office treated this matter as aggressively as every other matter that has come before our office. Within 24 hours, our office took disciplinary action and put Ibrahim Khan under restrictions, and within 72 hours, we engaged an outside law firm that began an impartial impartial and exhaustive review of the allegations.
All right, you guys, so that kind of fills us in and brings us up to speed on said negligence of Tish James and her non-willingness to report these assaults until after the campaign season was over and she was reelected into office. Okay, now we got this article that we dug up. We definitely have to check out what information is in here. It says a former worker in the city's public advocate's office is accusing her ex-boss of DNS assaulting her during a holiday party, and says the watchdog agency swept it all underneath the rug. Angel DuBose, 47, says in a complaint filed with the State Division of Human Rights that public advocate Letitia James, so she wasn't the attorney general yet, she was just a public advocate, Letitia James' chief of staff, Ibrahim Khan, attacked her back in 2014. Khan allegedly made suggestive comments to the Queen's mom of two at the December gig at Woodrow's in Tribeca and then got her a drink. DuBose told the Post that she went outside to smoke, and the next thing she knew, she woke up in the middle of the street. DuBose claims in the paper that Khan DNS assaulted her. She told the Post she eventually recalled all the details. She says in the papers that she reported the incident to an office supervisor on January 15, 2015, but nothing was done. James' office said DuBose was fired for cause and called all of her allegations an outright lie. There is absolutely no truth to these allegations, spokeswoman Anna Bauer said. They are an outright lie. When these allegations were raised, we referred them to the Department of Investigation, which reviewed and closed this matter. Additionally, the Manhattan DA's office investigated this matter and closed it. We are disappointed that a former employee would go through such great lengths to disparage the public advocate's office and our team. Which then brings us to this article, which links Letitia James in the same exact night. DuBose said she was put in the back of a black Lincoln Town car, James' official car. She remembers hearing Letitia James ask, "Is she out?" as she was placed semi-conscious next to James in the back seat. DuBose says she woke up in the rain hours later, disoriented, coat and bags gone, and later recounted a bizarre ritual involving chanting, groping, and a circle of people, including James and Chief of Staff Ibrahim Khan. For years, her story was suppressed, internal reports were altered, witnesses were promoted. The Department of Investigation closed the case without naming her or the crime. In the meantime, James rose in her career. On the New York State Attorney General's website, it says of James, quote, when she was elected in 2018, she became the first woman of color to hold a statewide office in New York and the first woman to be elected Attorney General. DuBose, who was black, says that shouldn't matter. What do these accomplishments mean if they are on the back end of corruption? Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness. And this is one that initially I was not going to cover. Our boy Sam E. Antar actually dropped a tweet weeks prior on this one. And it was a touchy subject, as you guys can probably see now, why I wasn't going to cover it. But just like their insurance and mortgage fraud, it all built up to something more. Usually when you smell smoke, there's fire, and this situation could definitely turn to something more. I seen that tweet coming out just yesterday from our boy Roger Stone Jr. and I thought, wow, okay, maybe this might have some substance behind it. We got to check out what's going on and why Letitia James is being implicated in these assault cases. Doesn't make sense to me, but after further assessment, we can see that it may be Letitia James dirty on a whole different level. Guys, I'm definitely going to need your help piecing this one all together. Do you guys think this was an act of revenge from an upset employee, upset that they had got fired, or is this actual truth, the substance to this story that we're seeing? It seems like on multiple occasions, Letitia James has been implicated in the cover-up and also the participation in these assaults. Definitely hop in that comment section. Comments are open, and I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking on this one. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next week.